All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The meeting of the Opioid Settlement Fund Committee is called to order at 3:05 on Monday, June 12th, 2023. The meeting agenda was distributed in the packet. Are there any amendments? All right, so we will run the meeting as stated. Excuse me. The first item we have is the discussion of this committee's role and purpose in the town and with the money within the fund. So I have up on the smart board for us, I can make it a little bit bigger. Just want to make...
Coming into the other, so I'm gonna have to reboot this. So do you want to, maybe just call a little recess while?
Sure. So we're going to call a recess just so we can restart the smart board so that everyone can see it. So we are back in session after a little bit of a technical issue. All right, so on our smart board, we have the abatement terms for the use of the opioid funds. So the Commonwealth and its municipalities have a shared commitment to using abatement funds recovered from statewide opioid settlement to supplement and strengthen resources available to Massachusetts communities and families for substance use disorder prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery in a matter that reflects the input of our communities. So that is part of why we have the application process of people who have personal experience with the opioid crisis. The second bullet point of this is address disparities in existing services and outcomes and improve equity in the health of individuals and communities and disadvantages by race. The third is addresses mental health conditions, substance use disorders, leverages programs and services already reimbursed by state agencies, and encourages innovations, fills gaps, fixes shortcomings of existing approaches, supplements rather than supplants resources for prevention, harm reduction, treatment, recovery. And this includes evidence-based, evidence-informed, and promising programs and takes advantage of the flexibility that is allowed for these funds. So that's the statewide commitment. We still have to follow the statewide. So the municipal use, the abatement funds allocated to municipalities shall be used to implement the strategies set forth below. Municipalities are encouraged to pool abatement funds to increase their impact. So Abington at this point, we have not joined with any other communities. That's something that, we can discuss further if we want to pool our resources. Right now it is just us taking applications, or we will be eventually taking applications from Abington residents. Municipal abatement funds shall not be used to fund care reimbursed by the state, including through Mass Health, and forgive me because and the Bureau of Substance and Addiction Services. Although local area agencies or programs that provide state reimbursed services can be supported financially in other ways that help meet the needs of their participants. So just wanted to, before we got too far into this again, reiterate what our role in this process was. So we will be using our funds, applicants will apply to following these guidelines, help further prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery services offered within our community. Do we have anything further to discuss? And this was emailed out to all of us when we were first appointed to the board, but we thought this was a good time to, I felt this was a good time to kind of reiterate, just so that we had a clear understanding of what we should be on track with doing. All right, so the next thing on our agenda is the discussion and possible vote to adopt the application for funds. So the next thing in the packet was the final revised version that we had taken a look at last time. The electronic version, which is the exact same as the paper version, is up on the screen. It goes through section 1, depending on which answer you select in section 1, it will either drop you to section 2, section 3, sorry, or section 4. It has the definition of private citizen, just like the paper application. And then everyone, when they complete their respective sections, they all drop into section 5. We added the question about the objectives. And then here's where you can upload your information. And then in the actual application, this is the designs, the kind of the background view of it. Will be a button that you can click submit. So here's the live view. And so you click through each section, and then there would be a submit button. And we were able to see those. Is there any concerns, questions, changes about the application?
No.
Is there a motion to adopt the,
I move to adopt the application as it is now.
do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the application is adopted as it is written. And at our next meeting, we will discuss when we can start accepting applications. All right. Next thing we have, just as an ongoing conversation, is the discussion about the need for town departments and support. Any changes from the previous meeting about needs, wants, support? As the rules had stated, the funds are to use to support, not supplant our I'm sorry, support, not supplant, supplement rather than supplant our resources. So that's just something that we're going to keep in mind when, town departments are asking. Anything further on that?
On number 3, I have a question. So this is on the needs of town departments to support opioid education. So does this include schools to have Narcan for the nurse?
So that's something that if the school department wants to address that, then that's something we can look into. Narcan is something that the town, we can get for free for the town. So we have to look and see what the school policies for them holding Narcan so off the top of my head, I don't know what their med policy is.
So I know when they came here and the school nurse was talking, we spoke about that, about getting Narcan for the school nurses.
Yep, so we can't change, if that's a policy, we can't change policy. We are here just to talk about the prioritizing spending for applicants for the money from the opioid settlement. If that is a policy or a change that has to happen on that side, I'm sure I'm more than happy to rally and provide all the information and educate on that, but that's not our board, our committee's role to provide policy change over there. That we're not involved in that in any way.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
All All right. So we had previously also discussed the wording of the special town meeting warrant item. We talked about having KP Law coming in. I think once we decide on our next meeting time, and we discuss summer meeting, or summer vacations and schedules, kind of who's going to be here when, it would be beneficial to have all of us at the table before we have KP Law come in, just so that it's not a mismatched bunch of individuals. It's all of us here receiving the information firsthand. That we should invite KP Law to come and talk about the warrant, especially with that coming up in the fall, with this,
Okay, well,
hopefully being able to have a special fall town meeting. Anything further on the wording for special town meeting? All right. Next thing is discussion and possible vote on a new meeting schedule. So I think at this point, we don't necessarily need to meet every 2 weeks. I think if we go to a monthly meeting, it's more than appropriate. If we need to, we can always adopt a sooner, kind of meet more frequently if we have to, and then flip back to monthly. I think Mondays seem to work for everyone.
yes. it's good day for me.
Do we want to stick with keeping it the second Monday of the month, but moving it out to a monthly schedule?
I think that's good, yeah.
That would bring us, for the summer, it would be July 10th, and then August 14th.
So July 10th and August 14th?
That's if we keep that second Monday schedule that we had been doing and just dropping the second monthly meeting.
Works for me.
All right. So I just will need a motion to change our meeting schedule from meeting twice a month to once a month on the second Monday of the month at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to just say back the?
Second month, so we put it 10th. And not the
Yeah.
24th.
So,
I'll make a motion to adopt the new schedule for the second Monday of July, which would be the 10th, and the 14th of August, which would be the Monday. So the second Monday of every month.
okay.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so our new meeting schedule will be the second Monday of the month. Second Monday of the month at 3 p.m. going forward, and that will begin on Monday, July 10th at 3 p.m. in the Carter Room. Does anyone have any new items to be discussed?
I have just one quick question about the schedule. Is this going to continue September, October, November, and so on?
Yeah, so I think,
Okay.
like we said, we can stick to an every month schedule once we get through town meeting, and we see what happens with getting funds into that, and we start reviewing applications and can start dispersing funds, or making recommendations for disbursement of funds. If we need to meet more frequently, we can add a meeting. I don't think it necessarily means we have to start meeting twice a month again.
There's an emergency or something?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
If you'd like, I could, Vicky Butler kind of heads up Plymouth County Outreach. When you mentioned like the pooling of funds, maybe she might have a pulse of what other towns are doing. If you want, I could invite her for a meeting.
Absolutely.
And then she can give an overview of Plymouth County Outreach much better than I can, so.
Awesome. As far as scheduling, because we'll have KP Law also coming to one of the next meetings. Is anyone planning to be away on July 10th?
Let me see. I'm going to be, I might be away, but I'm trying to change the tickets because I have to go to Florida for an MTA convention. I might cut it short, so I might.
Don't cut it short on our
Yeah,
behalf.
don't cut it
Enjoy-
short.
yeah.
Stay down there.
Enjoy your vacation. Don't cut it short on our behalf. I'm just for planning. And then again, no one cut vacation short on our behalf, but anyone planning or already have a vacation planned or anything for August 14th, just to give dates for both Vicky and KP Law?
I'm not sure. But I do want to give you a heads up. I have my mom who has Alzheimer's, and I may need to go in the summer to see her and try to find out what to do. In the situation, I usually go in the summer, but I don't have a set date because usually whenever they give me an appointment, I'm trying to get the government involved, if that's going to be easy. She's in Puerto Rico, and it's not very easy to get any help to get someone from an apartment to a home, and she really needs it. So whenever that happens, I will let you know
That's
that I'm
it.
going to have to go
Of course, it's a first priority.
and help out. Thank you.
All right. Next thing on our agenda is the approval of minutes from May 8th and May 22nd. They were emailed out last week, and there are copies in the packet from today.
I reviewed them, I just didn't bring them. I reviewed them, I just didn't bring them.
I have extras
This one?
somewhere.
Pass that.
I have one.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so extra.
For the May 8th minutes, are there any corrections or amendments? Hearing none.
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so the minutes will be recorded as they have been distributed. Looking at the May 22nd, are there any corrections or amendments to the minutes? Hearing none,
Move to approve the May 22nd minutes as written.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
I'm only saying this because I just learned this today at a previous meeting. Did you know that even if you weren't in attendance, you can still vote? I just learned that today. All right, so they will be recorded, May 22nd minutes will be recorded as such. If there are no objections, we will now adjourn the meeting.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, yes.
On the second Monday of October, it's holiday, Columbus Day, or Indigenous Peoples' Day,
We will,
which is, I just want to say the right name.
we will shift as needed.
Okay,
Yep,
all right, thank you.
yes, absolutely. All right, if there are no further questions?
Move to adjourn.
do we have a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned at 3:28.